So the point Shri Krishna is trying to say that once you have started this inner journey, the journey of knowing yourself, the journey of spirituality, we are just started. And there is no way we are going to stop in between. Even if death stops it, we will be born again
to continue
this journey till the time we become liberated. Namaste. My name is Bidhan. 2012 is when I chanced upon Upanishads, and it had a profound impact on my life. Since then, I have dreamt to bring the key aspects of Upanishads in a manner which is simple, relatable, and implementable in our daily lives. So here we are with a set of videos to make spirituality simple. Welcome, Preeti.
Hi, Bidhan. Good to be back.
Okay. Dear viewers, most welcome. And those who are interested to be a part of our workshops, please go ahead, put your details in the link which is there in the description below. So let's start, Preeti.
Yes.
Let's start from where we left last time.
Absolutely. So I think I'm going to just dive right in, because we spoke about the concept of rebirth, and we also came to that conclusion that it is beyond the scope of science and also of my own personal experience. It's beyond the scope of both, right? So I remember asking you this also, that then am I expected to take the concept of rebirth entirely only on faith?
I remember very clearly telling you that let us analyze whether it is a faith or a hypothesis which is yet to be proven, or a logical conclusion, isn't it?
Yeah.
And we are going to take a methodology to understand this. This is called Shruthi, Yukti, and Anubhava.
Okay.
Right? So let's dive straight in. Do you know about Shruthi?
Shruti, as in you mean referring to the Vedas or the Upanishads?
Yes,
Okay.
yes. It is called Shruti because what is stated in the Vedas are not of a human intellect. It was revealed to the rishis in their deep states of meditation. And therefore it is called something that is heard, Shruti, and it's also been transmitted in the similar manner. If you look at these Upanishads and Veds, they are volumes of work, phenomenal amount of work, very detailed. These are not stories that we have heard during our childhood. The fact is that we have to read it to understand the depth the Upanishads and Vedas have. In fact, a lot of scientists, people from psychology, psychiatrist department, they are amazed at the way they have deciphered the human behavior, the understanding of reality. So they are so in depth. The reason I'm telling you this is that Shruti, or our Vedas, Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is certainly not a part of Shruti, it's a part of Smriti, but just I'm clubbing it all together so before I get a lot of comments. Yeah. So if we refer to these work, there are a lot of interesting aspects of life which has been diverged. And one such interesting aspect is about rebirths.
So you're saying rebirth is mentioned in the Upanishads?
Yes.
Okay.
It is mentioned in the Upanishads very clearly. If we refer to Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, there it talks about the afterlife journey of a person basis the deed and the thoughts. It gives a very nice analogy. It says, just as a caterpillar moves to the end of the blade of the grass and then basically holds another blade of a grass and draws itself to it, in this similar manner, the jiva, discarding its old body, draws itself into another body depending upon its thoughts, deeds, and actions.
Okay.
It's clearly mentioned there. If we refer to Mundaka Upanishad, there it basically talks about what happens if a person is liberated. And there it says that during the life, if the person understands Brahman, after death it merges with the Brahman. But however, if this understanding has not percolated, it continues to be born into duality. So if you see both the references that I have given, it clearly talks about a journey of jiva from one body to another, depending upon their state of their evolution, their karma, their thoughts, their experiences.
Okay. So you've mentioned about the Upanishads, but earlier you also said that there's a reference of it in the Bhagavad Gita.
Yes, there are multiple references of it in Bhagavad Gita. If I remember it correctly, in chapter 4, Shri Krishna very clearly tells Arjun that this is not the first lifetime of you and me. We have been born multiple number of times before.
Okay, so there's clear documentation of this, you're saying?
Yes, there are clear references of rebirths in our ancient scripture. And I was telling you also that these are our foundational texts, very strong, very detailed. And there is no reason why not to believe in some of them.
Right. So the fact that there's some reference itself, I think, is some sort of a reassuring.
Yeah. So that was Shruti.
Okay.
Second thing we spoke about is Yukti. Yukti is basically some kind of analysis or some kind of logical interpretation.
Okay.
So let's take an example of a Yukti. Any kind of a logical interpretation that you want to give?
Cause and effect, you're saying?
Yeah.
I'll take your example,
Okay.
because you're in that world. In case the stock market crashes, then we sort of analyze and say it's because of this, this, and this.
Fair point. So that is an example of Yukti, that a certain thing led to certain things.
Right.
Some sort of a logical explanation
This
of what
happened
is
because of this.
this. For example, if I am basically suffering from a diabetes or high blood pressure, then you kind of analyze what would have led to it. So some sort of an analysis that is called Yukti. Now let us see if we can use the same Yukti to understand rebirths, right? So would you want to believe or understand or accept that every effect has a cause?
Yeah, that's a given.
Every effect will always have a cause. Now, if you look around, when a person is born, the people are born in various circumstances, in various families, in various situations, and this is what you are asking. Then why is it that there is so much of divergence in the way we start our journey? What is the cause for that starting point?
Can you explain that a little further?
So you remember you asked me that why certain people are born in certain families.
Right.
So that's an effect. Taking a birth in a specific family is a effect. Now you will see that certain people are born in one kind of a place, certain people are born in certain kind of a place. Some people will have a very different childhood. So those are the effects. What is a cause?
You're saying the cause is from a previous lifetime?
Exactly. And that is how you can explain the so much of divergence from the starting point in this lifetime.
Okay.
Because the starting point is not zero for everyone. It's not the same thing. They are born in multiple circumstances and their life journey gets evaluated or progresses from their starting point. So that starting point, why the starting point is so different for everyone? You can either say it is random.
But you already mentioned that there's nothing random.
What we call is random is a structure that we don't understand. Only that is something that we call random. Is something that we understand, we say it is not random. The point I'm trying to tell you is the reason we are born in different places, different times, in different circumstances is not random. There is a reason behind it. There is a journey behind it. So this is the effect. The effect causes that.
Wow, okay.
That is what Yukti is all about. Let's take another example. Would you know of children, or have you heard of cases where they are born with extraordinary intelligence, a very different disposition?
Yeah.
Right? And it cannot be explained by genetics and upbringing. Let's take example of Mozart. When he was 7 years old, he went to the entire Europe giving performances.
Yeah.
If you talk about Sri Shankaracharya, at a very young age, he had such wonderful ideas about this entire universe, right? And he was a child prodigy. He has such a strong spiritual inclination. How do you explain this?
So you're saying that's the effect of some cause that has happened in their previous.
Yes. Okay. And it's not easy to explain those things using genetics or epigenetics and all of it.
Right. Okay, so I mean, it's so fascinating to hear this, and it's so nice. I think what is happening is science has some gaps in it, and we are filling in those gaps with our own conclusions of certain things that are happening.
Oh my God, this is like telling that whatever you have said has no meaning.
No, I mean, I wish that, if I could experience it, then maybe believing it would be much easier, right?
All right. So you're not talking about Anubhava.
Oh, okay.
That is experiencing it. So we spoke about two things, Shruti. Shruti is referring to our Vedas, Upanishads and Ved, right? Or Bhagavad Gita. That is the first part to start with. There we are convinced.
Right.
That
there are some references already. We have to refer to it. Correct.
And those are not very loose references, some kind of a stories. They're very detailed process which has been mentioned. Second, we spoke about Yukti. Now, Yukti we are saying is that there is a reason for us to believe that what I'm going through, there has to be certain past references which science can't explain. But maybe we are using that gaps to put our own stories.
I didn't say stories.
But that's okay. That's fair point. But there is. I mean, the point is we do believe that there is an effect. There has to be a cause, and the cause predates this life. That's basically Yukti. But a third thing is most important, Anubhava. And if you remember in the last episode, we spoke about that you can't experience.
Yeah.
Just like you can't experience your subconscious, you can't experience your previous lives.
You already mentioned that.
But I'm going to make a little bit of a change. You can experience it.
Oh.
However, it requires certain effort. If you refer to Patanjali, they use a word called samskara. Have you heard of this word, samskara?
No, not really.
Not really. So what happens is that every life, what we have lived, it leaves certain amount of impression in our heads, in our mind, right? And those impressions do not die or wither away after the death of the person. That mental impressions that we carry from one life to another is called samskara.
Okay.
When you were, say, young, maybe 3 years or 4 years old, were you able to, do you remember all your experiences or the memories? Do you have those memories?
No.
You don't have those memories. But even science talks about it, that whatever experiences that you had
shapes me as an adult
today, right? Those experiences which are there in a very subtle form, like a seed that leads to your thought, actions, and behavior, that is called samskaras, right? Now, Patanjali very clearly says that if you get into deep seats of meditation, dhyana, or high level of self-awareness, you can actually witness those subtle memories, and you will be able to clearly see and recall all your previous lifetimes.
Oh, so you're saying it is possible?
It is possible.
Okay.
In fact, if legends had it right, Buddha was able to see all his previous lifetimes, and that's why he was able to come out with the law of karma, where he could clearly see that action of one lifetime led to the individual or to the jiva getting into different realms of world. And therefore he was so confident. He never talked about God. If you see, he never spoke about God. He spoke about either nothingness, emptiness, or he spoke about law of karma, because he was convinced. He actually perceived it in the deep seats of meditation.
Okay. So it is possible.
It is.
It's just that we don't have that time and patience to sit and do the deep seeds of meditation that you're talking about.
Exactly. If you look at all the Eastern traditions that we have, whether it is Buddhism, Hinduism, Jainism, Sikhism, all of them, they may have different concepts of God and goddesses or no God at all. They may have a different concept of the rituals. They may have very different thought process, but two things, all of them are aligned.
Okay.
One is law of karma and second one is rebirth.
Oh, okay.
They are aligned, and of course on moksha as well, but I'm just sort of putting my effort in understanding this. So the entire Eastern tradition have this as an integral part of teaching in spite of vast differences on other things.
Right. I think that just clicked for me also. I think all the Eastern philosophies talk about karma, talk about rebirth as well.
Right.
So they talk about past lives also.
Correct.
So when people say past life regression, is this what they're talking about?
Look, I can't comment on that. I'm not expert on past life regression. I can't say whether it is that you are able to see your previous births or it is some kind of a projection of your mind, some kind of a projection of your subconscious. I don't know. One thing I know, in Patanjali, they have clearly said that it is a siddhi to basically see your previous lives or able to see those subtle memories, and it requires tremendous amount of effort, discipline, and progress in that. Whether you can do it in a snap through past life, I am nobody to talk about it. My understanding is it requires a lot of time and effort, and if you're ready for it, to dedicate that time and effort, there is a process laid out. Please go ahead and do it and see it for yourself if past life, rebirth.
If it's in fact a fact.
Fact.
Okay. So this work that you're talking about, at the end of the day, I think people like me, not you, but people like me don't have the time and patience to go through it. And essentially that's why we have to refer to the scriptures, right?
Exactly. So just think about it, that Anubhava is possible.
Right.
But we will not have the time and the patience to go about doing this. So refer to an authentic document, which is our Ved or Vedas, Upanishads, and to corroborate whether that is authentic or not, use your analysis, use your Yukti, use your thoughts. Does it make sense? Yes, it makes sense. And yes, if I have the time and the patience to go through it, please go through it by all means and figure it out by yourself. You have all the opportunity there. And you know what? I find this concept so elevating.
Why elevating?
See, in Bhagavad Gita, Arjun asks Shri Krishna that if I take a spiritual path in this life, and suppose for some reason, because of my restless mind, death, circumstances, I am unable to complete my spiritual path to a conclusion, then I am neither materialistic nor spiritual. I am nowhere. What happens to a person like me? Does it resonate?
Yeah, I think it resonates with me. I'm sure it resonates with many people.
It resonates for all of us. That what happens that I have pursued a spiritual path and have not been able to conclusively end it.
You're neither here nor there.
Neither here nor there. And Shri Krishna so beautifully answers that to Arjun. He says that when your journey has stopped in this lifetime, it will continue. You will be born in a situation, in a family, which ensures that your journey continues. Plus, you will start from where you have left. You're not going to start from zero. The spiritual journey, you're going to start from where you have left till the time you reach to the final point, which is liberation. So the point Shri Krishna is trying to say that once you have started this inner journey, the journey of knowing yourself, the journey of spirituality, we are just started. And there is no way we are going to stop in between. Even if death stops it, we will be born again
to continue
this journey till the time we become liberated. Imagine. So
I mean,
anything that we do is good.
Yeah.
Little bit also makes sense. Just one has to do it.
I mean, it's so beautiful and quite reassuring just to hear this. But then this leads me to think of why is it that the specific topic of law of karma, why is it that it has been manipulated? I feel like I'm harping on the same point again and again, forgive me, but it leads to so much of inaction, laziness, and just people put it as, okay, this is my fate, this is how it is.
Fair.
There's so much misinterpretation that happens, I feel.
You're right. I mean, this law of karma has been misinterpreted at multiple levels, to an extent where we have become fatalistic, to an extent we are taking no action, resigning to the current situation, saying it's my karma and therefore I have to go through it. It has taken a very negative connotation. Let us take this specific topic in our next episode, that how law of karma, which is supposed to elevate us, which is helping us to become a lot more self-aware, suddenly got diverted into fatalism, and how we can actually get out of that loop, use it for our benefit, and do what Shri Krishna has asked us to do.
Yeah, at least you've accepted the fact that yes, it has been misinterpreted.
It has been to a massive level.
Right. So, I mean, I love today's conversation, Vedant. It sort of enlightened this whole concept of both law of karma and rebirth, right? So, even though the concept of rebirth is beyond my scope of understanding, or even beyond the scope of science, somewhere you beautifully explained it with, let me see if I can get this, Shruthi, Yukti, and Anubhava.
Perfect.
Right? So, I mean, just listening to it has been reassuring for me, and I hope that everyone else feels the same way as well.
Yes, of course. Refer, think, experience. To our viewers, let us know what you think. Do you really think that rebirth, law of karma is still in the realm of speculation, or there is an evidence in your life that makes you know, feel, and believe that this is a fact? Do mention in the comments below. And if you like this episode, don't forget to click the like button, to share with people who can benefit. And yes, do not forget to leave your details in the description, where you can be a part of our regular workshops. Thank you for watching.